Okay, our regular weekly updates, artificial intelligence, April 18th, Friday. And today, main theme is probably that we're going from AI models to AI systems. You'll see it over and over again. So first, OpenAI made some new introductions this week. One is GPT-4.1. It's a series of models. They are better than the previous ones, so improved instruction following, outperforms GPT-4.0 and even GPT-4.5. GPT-4.5 was introduced in February. Anyway, so it's a good model. It comes in different sizes, regular size, also mini and nano, with different prices. Per million token, we're talking about $2 for the main one and about 40 cents for mini and 12 cents for nano. Prompt caching allows you to decrease price even further. Coding, very good, surpasses 0.01 high and GPT-4.5. Very good in many different benchmarks, and so you see the list of what they can do. So this is great. GPT-04 Mini and ChatGPT recently launched memory feature. Oh, okay, this will be on the next slide. So they also introduced O3 model. Before it was O3 Mini and Mini High, now it's O3 and O4 Mini. And so you see that's the models they released. For one, Mini, for one Nano, O4 Mini, and O3. And actually O4 Mini outperforms O3. Like, so here you see O1, O3 Mini, O3 with terminal, and O4 Mini with terminal. So in the introduction, if you follow the link, you will see many charts like that. And this is ELO score. This is a competitive score. The models were competing with each other. So yeah, it behaves very well. Another thing they introduced is Codex CLI. So this is on the prompt tool which you can use for coding. It's basically doing the same as Anthropic tool. So yeah, you can now automate your coding from the prompt. They also introduced the memory feature, and also the same week Grok, like XAI, Twitter, Grok also introduced the memory feature, and Grok also introduced the Grok Studio to create documents and apps. So memory feature, that means that ChatGPT have access to your previous chats. Okay, so OpenAI considers launching a social network to rival Elon Musk's X and Meta's Instagram. GPT-5 delayed due to GPU short. I don't know. On the other side, they say that now, as they started working not only with Microsoft, I'm talking about OpenAI, but also with Oracle and other cloud providers, they actually have a lot of GPUs. OpenAI will soon retire GPT-4. Okay, this is my screen on my computer, and if I go, this is the list of the models. So you see now we have O4 Mini, O4 Mini High. Okay, so a lot of stuff. Next, Opera Agentic AI web browser experience. Well, this is in preview, and they introduced something called browser operator, which navigates web on users' behalf. And yeah, they did the demo. Max models in Cursor. This is not fair. What Cursor does, instead of sending your whole context to the cloud, to let's say to Claude, it only sends like a summary or a piece of it. And because of that, poor Claude cannot give you the right advice. So the workaround is there is an option in Cursor editor which is called Max Modals. And if you use Max Modals, then it will send the whole context, and then things are working much better, but of course you're paying for more tokens. Okay, Nvidia finally released native Python support to CUDA, to their library. Okay, Scale AI. People were talking about preparing data. So this company is growing like crazy. What they're doing, they're preparing training data, and Alexander Wang is the founder, and now they're already at 25 billion valuation. So you can look it up. And next, so what we're talking next? Neural architecture search. Yes, this is a very interesting idea. So there was an Israeli startup which is called Deci AI. Now, if you go follow the link now, you'll just go to NVIDIA. And what they developed is a framework, an algorithm to optimize the network. So you start with certain number of parameters, layers, connections, architecture, and then you start in this space of possible architectures, you try to optimize it, right? And NVIDIA now is using this approach to optimize the model. So for example, they took Meta Llama 4005 billion parameter model, and they used this approach and they squeezed it into 253 billion parameter model. So they made it smaller and they made it better in the process. Of course, in order to run these optimizations, you need a lot of hardware, but NVIDIA does have a lot of hardware, so they can do it. Neural architecture search. So they're searching for the best architecture. Okay, next. Oh, I decided just to say about the channel. So we post updates every Friday in the presentation like this. It's about 25-30 minutes. Links to slides under the video. So if you click on any video, you will see a link to GitHub where the slides are, and you can explore the links. So I recommend you to subscribe. And next, Windsurf. Windsurf used to be an extension for Visual Studio Code. Then they created their own standalone editor. Now, OpenAI is talking to them to buy them for $3 billion. You can use it in PyCharm, you can use them in Visual Studio Code, you can use them by itself as a standalone editor. So yeah, here's PyCharm, JetBrains. Linearity Theorem. Well, this is a little bit theoretical. So Andrei Panforov led this work. Is Linearity Theorem helps to establish direct relationship between layer L2 reconstruction error and the model perplexity increase due to quantization. So it's about what's possible in quantization. Next. Taskmaster. So this is interesting approach. You've heard the term vibe coding, where you tell network what you want it to do, and it does it. But if the task is complicated, it may get confused. So what this person does, he creates a plan. So he asks the system to create a plan, and then ask it to follow the plan step by step. You can do it using prompts. You can also do it using some third-party tools. For example, he tried Cloud Taskmaster. It's a command line tool which integrates with Cursor. Another is Boomerang Task from Ruka Code. Next platform, OpenRouter. So it provides access to many LLMs. So you go there and you can choose the model. They have API. One of the models there was Quasar Alpha. I'm not sure what it is actually, if they opened the secret or not, which was behaving very well. Okay, next. Well, as you know, USA limits export of NVIDIA boards to China. So China developing their own alternatives, and one of them is called MUSA SDK. So it's by Chinese firm MuThread, and yeah, it behaves very well. And they also created software to easily port from NVIDIA CUDA to MUSA. They call it musifying. Anyway, next, OpenHands LLM 32B. This is really something. I love it. We're using it. We tested it. It's great. So what we're talking about, look at this chart. So here the number of billions of parameters, and you see famous DeepSeek, V3, R1, the latest V3, and here is the performance on SWE bench. SWE stands for Software Engineer bench. So this is they're used for coding. So these are big models. Now look at this OpenHands model. It is 32 billion parameters, so it's right here. But its performance on the bench basically the same as these huge models, 671 billion parameters. So this is like 20 times bigger models, right? So very small model behaves very well. How is it even possible? So what happened? So first was DeepSeek. Then Alibaba, Qwen, created their own distilled version with the 32 billion parameters. Then they created CUDA with the 32 billion parameters. So they tuned the model specifically for coding. And then here in US, uh, people from two universities, University of Illinois and Carnegie Mellon University, they created a project which currently has 300 contributors on GitHub to further improve the model for coding. And how they were doing this? They used reinforced learning with actually running. So they would give a task to the model proposed a solution. This solution they try to run in the terminal. It will give an error. The error goes back to the model, so it goes back and forth, so it learns from experience. So this is reinforcement learning at its best, right? And as a result, they they got the model which is small but really trained in the battle and behaves very, very well. Because it's so small, you can run it on your laptop, and you can use it, let's say in PyCharm on Visual Studio Code using Ollama. The downloadable file is about 19 gigabytes. So if you have 32 gig or 48 gig on your MacBook, you're golden. You can do the work. Very good model. Very good. Next, Dragontail model at LMArena. So this is coming from Google. So on par with O3 Mini High or Claude 3.7 Sonnet Thinking. This is the latest one. Good model. Well, I haven't tested it, but really interesting. And NVIDIA UltraLong-8B. So what we're talking about? We're talking about very small model which is derived from Llama, 8 billion parameters, very small model, but it can handle million, 2 million, 4 million tokens. So this is example. This is the original model. You see, with the length, it becomes red. That means that it cannot work. But as you go with the iterations of this model, it's completely green. So it can really work with long context. So this is the archive article and some other links, the Hugging Face. So it's open source, small model, can work with long context. Very interesting. Now, Chinese models for video, and these are two examples, Seaweed-7B and Kling AI. Absolutely amazing. China, as we spoke last time, is ahead of US in their development in almost everything, in large language models, in agents, in multimedia models, in robots. So these are the examples, very good models. Next, OLMoTrace from Allen Institute for AI. So Allen Institute for AI creates everything open source, open data, open everything. So they created a model which allows you to trace the output to the original training data, to original training tokens. So this is the link to the article. Harvard Business Review researchers indicate that therapy and companionship have become the top use case for AI. I didn't know that. Interesting. So there is a new browser extension, GPT for Sheets and Docs. So you can download it. This is how it looks. You can press to install it on your browser, and it allows you to use GPT inside your Google Sheets and Google Docs. Okay, Amazon Novasonic speech generation runs on AWS Bedrock, which is a set of libraries which Amazon provides. Microsoft slows down data center expansion. So it shifts from costly AI training to money-making AI inference. So moving towards a more balanced approach. Yes, well, training is extremely important. They spend a lot of money to data centers, and now they're not sure if they can receive their money back by just training. And they're doing what many other people have done. Like, for example, Perplexity. Perplexity, it's a search engine with AI. They first thought that they will create their own models, but then they decide, well, we can use other models like Claude or OpenAI, other models, and so they built an application and they charge for their services, and they're doing very well. They're in billions of dollars valuation, so they're profitable basically. And well, Microsoft wants to do the same. So there is also concern about potential oversupply of AI infrastructure, leading to a more cautious approach to data center investments. Okay, and by the way, these images are created with GPT-4.0, which has very good like image generating capability. But you know how to formulate the prompts. Okay, GPT-4.1 and Llama 4 models in GitHub models. We spoke that on GitHub you now have GitHub models where you can click and get a long list of models. In fact, maybe I can just show this. So this is a long list of models they have, and you can use them interactively or via API. And now we have GPT-4.1 already there, Llama 4 already there, and this new model, MyDS R1, and what it is, it's updated from DeepSeek R1. It's refined by Microsoft to handle complex queries, work across multiple languages, important, and provide access to previously restricted information. Next, Google rolls out AI video generator to Gemini Advanced subscribers. Well, I don't have it yet. It is probably in the studio. I don't know, but it creates very like realistic, high-resolution videos. If you just go on the website and see how it looks. Gemini Live. This is for Android phones. If you have Gemini app, this app can now see what's on your screen and well, probably tell you what to do. I'm not sure if it actually do something on the screen, but at least it can see your screen. Affordable RAG re-ranking, one talking trick. Sander, thank you for this article. This is a great idea. So imagine that you're doing RAG, which is retrieval augmented generation, right? And you did the similarity search in the vector database, and it returned you 20 pieces of text. Now you want to look at them to see if these pieces of text are relevant. You can use large language model for that, but large language model charges per token. So what they're doing here is give it the piece of text and ask if it is relevant, and ask it to give you back only one token. So basically yes or no. And by doing this, you save a lot of money. and you can easily re-rank before you actually pass it to the last step to formulate the answer from the RAG system. Now, US government now requires Nvidia to get a permit to sell H20 AI chips to China. Well, before they were only restricting like a high level like H100, H200, but now even H20 is being restricted. Okay, next. Wikipedia was hit really hard with bots collecting data, scraping NVIDIA. So what they decided to do, they decided to do one scrape themselves, put it in a JSON format, remove all the tags, whatever, provided in English and French in JSON, and they made arrangement with Kaggle, which is owned by Google. So Kaggle will keep it as data sets, so people can just download them from Kaggle instead of scraping Wikipedia. Well, hopefully this will decrease the denial of service on Wikipedia and reduce their costs. Okay, next, OpenAI uses Triton to write AI code. So Triton is syntax sugar on top of Python, right? So this is example of how the code looks. And there is also Triton, which is NVIDIA inference server, which is completely different thing, naming coincidence between those two. So Triton as a language and a compiler, it is on GitHub, so you can just follow and see what it is. Next, Seed Rim. This is a model from ByteDance, and ByteDance is a huge company in China. They also were hiding under the name Mogao. And you see, this is a leaderboard for text-to-image application. Well, they were on the first place. Now GPT-4.0 is on the first place. GPT-4.0, I love them. I use them all the time, and you've seen some images in this presentation. So, for example, here, Wikipedia is generated basically from this text. Okay, next. N8N workflow automation. So this is low coding or no coding way to create pipelines, workflows for your personal use or for your business use. They support a lot of integrations with other services. It's kind of similar to Zapier or Make, but it's open source. You can host it yourself. It's flexible. So some people really like it. So n8n.io. Next, planner and follow reasoning. So this is interesting idea how to implement reasoning. It's done in two steps. On the first step, there is a model called planner, which which formulates code, which is written in like a language similar to Python. And then on the second stage, this code is used to generate multiple possible responses, and then these responses are evaluated to find the best one. So when they randomly generate responses using this code, they can use sequential Monte Carlo, importance sampling, rejection sampling. So interesting idea to use the tool like a language in the middle of reasoning. So it's not just language reasoning, it's reasoning with the code in the middle. Next, I just wanted to put some pictures. So this is Ilya Zutskever when he was in Toronto with Jeffrey Hinton and Alex Krichevsky. Alex Krichevsky was the one who created the first GPU computer to do the language models. Well, it was image model. He reproduced Jan LeCun's image classifier using GPU. So he introduced GPU. He's very famous. All these people are very famous. And he's still working, he's still very busy, but what he's doing, he's working on data sets. And data sets are not as glamorous and visible as like introducing new models. Anyway, so this was maybe 13 years ago. And this is Ilya Zutskever today, well, last year when he left OpenAI and started his own company, which is called SSI or Safe Superintelligence. It's partially in Tel Aviv, partially in California. These are his co-founders who together gave like first $1 billion. Now he's raised additional 2 billion. I think he raised before as well. So his company now is at $32 billion valuation. And no product is very secretive. Nobody knows exactly what they're doing. Next, I want to talk about something absolutely not related with AI, but just tribute to Emmy Noether. So she is known for discovering some mathematical symmetries in our world. And by the way, this is Derek Muller, who is author of the Veritasium YouTube channel, which has 17 something million subscribers. I love his channel, so there are a lot of great videos. And so this particular video, the last one, talks about general relativity and symmetries. It's beautiful. It's amazing video. I highly recommend you to watch. Anyway, crowdsourced LMArena. So these are latest updates. So red is Google, yellow is OpenAI, XAI, green means open source. Well, China is China. So what do we see? We see a lot of China. We see, oh yeah, and these are English queries, and these are for coding. So what do we see? We see that Gemini, ChatGPT, Gemini, Grok, ChatGPT, DeepSeek. So DeepSeek v3, well, it's big. It's 671 billion parameters, right? And then again, Gemini, again, DeepSeek, O3 Mini. So you don't see small models here. These are either coming from Gemini and ChatGPT, which are not models, they are systems. They have reasoning built in. They have multiple models working with some sort of routing between them and multi-step and so on. So it's not like fair to consider. They're more like agents, like systems. Okay, so these are Chinese Claude 3.7 Sonnet. Okay, this is Qwen. I love Qwen. This is from Alibaba. Anyway, so what do you choose for coding? Well, either big model or one of those on the cloud. Well, I told you about OpenHands, and maybe if you love your privacy, maybe this is a good way to go because a reasonably small model. Note, Llama 4 Maverick, which was recently released, it's pretty big. It's 400 billion parameters, but it's on the 30th place. It's way down there because it's just a model. It's not a system. These things are mostly systems. So in English only queries, you see approximately the same choice of models, except for Gemma 327B. So this one is coming from Google, and 27 billion parameters. You can run it on your laptop, well, quantized, of course, and it's open source. But this is for English queries. This is not for coding. Okay. Next is Arena. Well, this slide I probably don't need anymore. And this is search tabs. Okay, let me explain what's going on here. So let me go here to the Arena. Okay, so you see those tabs? So I can go for search, for example, and it compares these models or systems in their ability, which can do search. And so the Gemini from Google is on the first place, Perplexity, and then we have GPT, which now also can do search. This is a new tab. And you see there are different tabs. This is for hard questions, Copilot Arena, text-to-image models, a lot of information. If you never explored vision, right? So you can do that. You can compare models in different abilities. Okay, job market. So like follow the money. Money is poured into AI. So if you decide to find a job which is related to AI, developing AI tools, migrating to AI, and so on, there is no shortage you can find. So AI-related jobs are increasing after a slight dip. Global demand is up, especially Singapore, Luxembourg, Hong Kong. Some businesses expect AI to shrink their workforce. Others predict growth, so nobody knows. Python remains the most sought after skill. Generative AI rising. Gender imbalance still exists in AI jobs. Okay, high training costs are shifting advanced research from universities to companies. Okay, that's it. That's me as usual. Thank you.